Welcome to Software Spotlight, your front row seat to the latest innovations in software for small business. I'm Michael Burnswide, your host, and each week we are joined by executives at leading software companies to get an insider's perspective on the emerging technologies, business strategies, and market trends shaping the future. Tune in to stay ahead of the curve on leveraging software to boost productivity and growth in your business. Be sure to visit our website, softwareoasis.com, to access our free weekly newsletter and sign up for our upcoming 2024 software webinar series. Today, we're actually joined by Peter Wasmer. He's the founder of Pure Coastal Technologies and creator of Provalet IO, an automated service management platform revolutionizing efficiency and operations for pool service companies. In our episode, we'll hear how Peter's lifelong entrepreneurial drive led him to transform yet another industry with his latest innovation and software solution. So, welcome to the podcast, Peter.
Thank you, Michael. I'm really happy to be here. I'm excited about today and appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
Fantastic. I know a lot of our listeners have been researching different solutions in the home services automation industry, and your solution obviously provides a very unique value for both homeowners and pool service companies as well. And I was hoping you could give us a little bit of a background on yourself and Pure Coastal as well.
Sure. Thank you. We were talking earlier about different careers and how we got to here, and it's interesting how, as a lifelong entrepreneur, the concept of taking lessons and using them to better the next project it's been a consistent evolution, and so moving from manual systems into automation has been a part of my journey since day one. And Provalet came about from a very personal experience as a consumer. I live in Florida, and I'm fortunate to have a pool, which is great, except it has to get maintained all the time. And when I want to get a hold of the people that maintain it, I found it to be troublesome. I found it to be not convenient, and I found it to be a non-responsive environment. I thought, well, there's got to be a better way to run these things. And so I pulled in, I actually called my pool service company and let them know that there was an issue here. And when I sat the owner down and we had a conversation, he says, yeah, we really need something like this. So Provalet automates scheduling and dispatch. We automate invoicing. We automate being paid. And we also automate customer communications. So three sort of large friction points for any one of these regular interval service businesses. Regular interval service business is different than a standard service business in that their job is already fulfilled for the day. Their schedule is filled out. They're going to be on a weekly basis delivering some measure of service, and it could be pool service, lawn care, home cleaning, you name the regular interval service, and this is a platform that can help them out. Our focus on pool service is because, number one, it's an unbelievably great business, right? I mean, as an admirer, I love the platform of what pool service represents in terms of not only the consistency of the service, but it is in itself a recurring revenue business, which is one of my great loves. I love recurring revenue businesses, so we're really happy to be attached to it.
Really exciting. No, and I think a lot of some of the best solutions come out of personal need, and I think finding a pain point that you had, obviously many other homeowners across the nation have, and on the flip side of it, it sounds like you've identified a market in the pool maintenance market that is a very large market across the entire country, and let's face it, around the world. That
It really is. Yeah.
is really stuck in a previous era in terms of automation. So let me ask you, what are pool service companies doing now in terms of what does their day-to-day look like without the solution, and what would it look like once they've got Provalet up and running within their organization?
So there are 72,000 pool service businesses all across the country. In our best educated assumption is that north of 80% are still operating on a pencil and a piece of paper. So the day starts very early, which is great. That's consistent with how I like to live. So I love talking to these guys early in the morning. But they typically operate, a lot of these companies operate with a paper binder that has maybe a route listed on it, and they tear out a piece of paper and hand it to a pool tech and send him on his way. And on that piece of paper is a list of jobs that he's to do for the day. And in that piece of paper, at each job, he will record by writing on that piece of paper the attributes of the service that he delivered, whether it's taking water chemistry and marking down water chemistry data points. Maybe he employed some supplies to balance the pool. He'll mark down what he used for those, and that's typically about it. Now, and he'll run his route and handle that. And when he comes back to the office, he'll take that piece of paper that he wrote down all of his data points on, and he'll hand it to somebody behind the desk. And their job will then to be either take that piece of paper and put it back in the binder, or to manually key in the data points into maybe an Excel spreadsheet or something else. That's the standard approach to actually the day-to-day job. And then there's the process of invoicing. A lot of people are using QuickBooks for invoicing, which is fine. But even in a call yesterday, we continue to hear that although people think that QuickBooks is set up and runs automatically, it doesn't really run automatically. It's set up to run, but it doesn't go automatically. You still have to go through and check off different people and send the invoices and what have you. And then you have to track those invoices and chase people for money, unless they have actually an auto pay system set up, which a lot of people don't through that platform. So we looked at those as friction points that we could help out with, and then there's this whole big amorphous part of customer communications. Right now, it's typically customer communications happen by email, voicemail, or text, and again, the information comes in and it's typically written on a piece of paper, and then it's managed some other way to maybe create an estimate, which again is another manual process, or maybe it's to dispatch somebody, and it means you have to pick up the phone and call somebody, and if you get them, you can tell them what's happening. They have to write something down. So again, a lot of manual touch points are really ripe for the picking in terms of facilitating what I like to refer to as the flywheel of operation for regular interval service businesses. And so that's what Provalet does. We've created a central repository for all service requests. We've created a homeowner app, which is revolutionary in any service business, where the customer is intimately involved, as intimately involved in their service as they want to be. On that app, when it's on their phone, no matter if they're at their home or they're traveling, they'll get a notification letting them know when the service starts, when it stops. They get their bills on there. They can pay with their thumb. They can turn on auto pay. But the key feature that's really coming into play right now with our customers is the homeowner's ability to request service.
So it sounds like it's really a true end-to-end solution, really from the homeowner's
100%.
pocket all the way through to the field technicians to the pool business owner as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so what?
our marketing company came up with a tagline that we streamline pool service businesses from desk to deck.
There you go. That's awesome. And so with the solution, you mentioned maybe 80% of the pool companies out there are on a very old manual process.
Mhm.
What does a day look like from their perspective? From the moment the person requests service, or if it's an automated, routine service. What does the day look like using Provalet versus not using Provalet?
So we go through a process of onboarding a company, which includes integrating their customers and their technicians and creating routes. So we help them build out their service orders, which are dirt simple. They're modular and you can replicate them and edit them. And so once we have those attributes set up, it's sort of a set it and forget it system. The routes are set up automatically. There's a technician app where that technician gets his dispatch for the day, his list of jobs, his route stops that they're going to handle for the day. They're delivered to him in a route optimized way automatically. So some companies send a truck home with a guy, and he starts his day at home. Other guys have to come in and pick up a truck at the field office. And but no matter where they start their day, their route is optimized for them automatically. They're also GPS tracked. Now, a lot of companies are using GPS tracking in their trucks, which is great, and that'll tell you where the truck is, but it won't tell you where the guy is, and it won't also tell you how far along he's gotten in his day. You can see where the truck is, but you don't really have much more information than that. So we integrated GPS tracking with the app to do a couple of different things. Not only to tell the company where their techs are on the field, they can pull up a map and actually see where they are, but it's also an accountability tool for service. A technician can't check into a job until he's actually at the job. And when he does, there's a time and a location stamp that's marked for that job. And a company, when they build out reports, when the technician is done doing the job and he hits submit, there's a report that gets generated and automatically sent to the customer, letting them know what happened. And on that report, the companies have the option to include the timestamp coming in, the timestamp going out, or one or the other. They don't have or none. They don't have to do it. But we find that it's a very helpful tool for managing customers' expectations and giving them the sense of security that something actually happened.
Got it. And what one big question mark that I had, I know a lot of companies that might be listening to this say to themselves, well, we already have our way of doing things. We're already using QuickBooks. We're already, doing certain things. Is there an integration for tools like QuickBooks that they might already be using, or how does
Yeah.
it work?
Yeah, that became really elemental at the very beginning, was integrating with QuickBooks. And so we do that inside the platform with a quick login. And
Great.
it's a quick, very, very fast connection and very precise. When invoices that are automatically generated, and that's another part of the setup. When we set up customers for these companies, they'll set a time for their service, but then also set a time for when invoices go out, and then they just forget it. The invoices go out automatically, and assuming that the customer's on auto pay, it'll just get paid automatically. Um, but with QuickBooks, the two-way sync works exactly as you would imagine it, which is if an invoice gets paid on Provalet side, it comes in and it marks that invoice as paid in QuickBooks. So our invoices that are generated are also shown in QuickBooks, and when they're paid, they're marked as paid in QuickBooks. So
Wow, that's
all of the
fantastic.
accounting happens automatically. Now we have people that say, "Well, I get a bunch of customers that like to pay by check." That's fine. They don't have to use the app or the customer portal. We have a customer portal that does the same thing. They don't have to use that. If they want to write a check, the invoice is sent to them by email anyways. They can simply write a check, and when it comes in, the bookkeeper will take that check and they can mark it as paid in QuickBooks. That'll also mark it paid in Provalet.
Great. And then what are the payment options that are available to a consumer through the app?
Well, we're integrated with Stripe. And Stripe is the absolute bulletproof best choice in the marketplace for optionality. They can
Sure.
pay with any credit card, debit card, bank transfer. We just added I think it's called the Affirm, which is a payment method for larger purchases. So some of our companies, they'll use our platform to generate estimates, for replacing a pool pump, let's say, and that's a few $1,000s. Maybe somebody doesn't want to pay a $3,000 or $4,000 bill at one crack. They can use Affirm now to go ahead and make payments, and our company gets paid by Affirm, and then that guy is then obligated to pay Affirm. It's like another credit card, really, for them. So
Yeah, I would agree with you. Stripe has just
you
about
could pay with
every
Bitcoin if
payment
you want.
method. Yeah, just about every payment method
Yeah,
available. Now, I know you had put together a quick product demo for us, so why don't we show that to the listeners now so they can get an idea as to how it works. So
great.
let me play that for us.
You are running a service-based business and visiting your homeowners on a regular basis and would like an easier way to schedule, dispatch, and invoice your customers. This Provalet can help put more time and money back into your life. Provalet is a cloud-based system that can assist by automating your daily tasks and push assignments out to your team in the field every day. They open their mobile app in the morning, and every job is automatically loaded and ready to go. Google Maps and route optimization gets them where they need to be efficiently, and built-in GPS lets you track their progress on your dashboard. Here's where it gets even better. Your customers, the homeowners you are servicing on a regular basis, have a free mobile app that enhances your communication with the company. It keeps them up to date on visits, notifies them when you start a service, and gives them reports and invoices when the job is complete. They can pay right on the phone or use the convenient auto pay. They can communicate directly with you to request additional services without trading voicemails and text messages that can lead to missed opportunities and frustration. They can even refer friends to your company right on the app. Get signed up, add your customers to the system, customize your service and set up subscriptions, and your business goes on autopilot. This takes the repetitive task off your plate and allows you to be more productive so your business isn't running you. Check us out at provalet.io and book a free demo and get started today.
Well, I think that was a great demo that really helps to add a visual to exactly how the solution works, and really appreciate you putting that together for us.
Sure. My pleasure.
So let me ask you, are there any recent, features that have been added to the solution recently that you're really proud of that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, I think that there are two of them. Three. There's the estimates module, the reporting, and the customer portal. And so the estimates module, again, facilitates this flywheel of communication and execution of the job automatically inside the system. So if a customer can request service, a technician can identify that there's a problem, and the system itself has the same inbound for where you record emails, voicemails, text messages. You can create the service request inside of the system. And from there, from those service requests, you can create an estimate. And in doing so and sending it to the customer, they're presented with two options. They can decline it or they can accept it. And if they've accepted it, that comes back into the system as a job that can be scheduled. So there's no paperwork. It's all tied back to the origin of the request. And when it's accepted, now it's able to be scheduled, and it can be, and once it's done, once that job is completed, in the case of an estimate, an invoice is automatically generated. Now, we don't send that directly to the customer automatically. We put that in draft status because every estimate will invariably come back with needing some refinements. So we give the business owner the opportunity to refine it, but then they just click a button and the invoice goes off. If the customer has their auto pay turned on, he gets paid automatically. So really a
That's
very,
fantastic.
a very smooth process for facilitating all of those friction points around what does it mean to actually capture that business. Now, that business for a pool company, that represents probably somewhere between 15 and 25% of their annual revenue. So if we're cutting out the costs of actually facilitating that, they're making even more money. The customer portal is another piece of this that I really am very proud of. It's just a different facility on how to engage customers where they are. There are a lot of customers that would prefer not to have an app. They don't really like paper. They're okay with being online, and so we have a customer portal for customers to manage the relationship in the same way that they have the mobile app. They can do it online right now. The other interesting thing about both the mobile app and the customer portal is that we include all of the history. So I don't know about you, but I have zero history for anything that happened in my pool or my lawn. And not that I really want to have it front and center, but if I needed to go look it up, I could just click on a button and check it out. So
Fantastic.
all that's good.
And go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'd say the third part of it is the reporting.
Yeah.
We're very data centric group of guys, and what we want to do is help convert pool companies who feel their way through the business, which is good. We want to be able to simply and easily present data that says, hey, this is really how you're doing. And with that data, they can make better, smarter business decisions about how to operate their business. So that's an ongoing evolution for us. In particular, the idea of, is this customer profitable? Right? Is there a way for me as a service company owner with my 500 pools to identify the people that are profitable or maybe not profitable? And maybe it's time to move on from the not profitable ones for whatever reason. So it gives them data that they can actually make a decision on.
Yeah, it sounds like the reporting and the data analytics are super important to to be able to surface and bring into focus for a pool business owner.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, for a company that's looking to get started on Provalet, are there different packages or solutions, or how do they decide where to get started?
Actually, we have a very clean approach to this, and it's you get everything. Right? We don't have various packages. It's a single entry point. It starts with license number one includes unlimited admin access and one technician license, so one guy for the field, and then you can add on additional technician licenses after that. Very reasonably priced. The first one is at $149, and then for every technician after that, it's $59.
Wow, that is a no-brainer. So
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, for any serious pool service operation out there, this is a great opportunity to automate and make things more efficient. And it sounds like at the end of the day, they can come home and spend time with their family versus spending time with bookkeeping and data entry and wrapping up with their day, which I'm sure a lot of folks listening to this would very much appreciate. So I really
Indeed,
appreciate.
that's the business. Our business philosophy is we get up every day and we try to find ways to put more time and more money back into people's lives, and it's working.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing the solution on the Software Spotlight today. Coming up on our next show, we'll have Christian Espinoza. He's the founder of a boutique cybersecurity firm, Blue Goat Cyber, and he joins us to discuss SaaS cyber threats. With over 15 years performing security assessments for unicorns and hundreds of SaaS companies, Christian started Blue Goat to make SOC 2 penetration testing more accessible for startups. He'll share his framework for an affordable startup tailored SOC 2 compliance plan to help strengthen cyber defense as you scale your solution. So thank you for joining us on the Spotlight today.
Thank you, Michael.